This video is presented by NewWoodworker.com. The Bosch 10-inch portable worksite table saw really is portable, and it really is a table saw. All too often in this portion of the woodworking market, both of those can't be said about some of the saws. The portable part of the name also means that this saw stores in a very small footprint. If you have a small shop space or one that has to be returned to other uses, this can be very important. Portable also means that you can get this saw from storage and set it up quickly. The small overall size and lightweight mean that you don't have to get fancy with a table to put this saw on. A couple of sturdy sawhorses and a good piece of plywood is all you need in many cases. Remove the anti-kickback pawls from their storage mount on the saw. Push the tool-free release button and you can install the pawls on the splitter. Then remove the blade guard from its parking spot within the framework. And then put that assembly onto the splitter. When it's in position, push the arm down to lock it in place. That same splitter also functions as a riving knife. A tool-free lever at the base of the splitter lets you release it and move it down to a riving knife position, and use the same lever to lock it in place. Unclamp the rib fence from its storage position under the wing of the saw, set it into the rails, and lock it in place. Then if you need more width, we can open up the extension wing to increase the width of the saw and lock that in place. This miter gauge is included and slides in full-size T-shaped miter slots. There's one to either side of the blade. The blade guard has individual sides that are designed to slide over the wood easily. Either or both of the side plates can be locked in the up position. That lets you see more of what you're doing when making setups to get them more accurate. Because the guard sides are totally independent from each other, only the side with wood under it raises up. The anti-kickback pawls are automatic and work just like they do on full-size cabinet saws. The T-square style rib fence locks to the front and rear rails with one lever. This fence has a magnified cursor that is correctable and lets you see the multiple scales very easily. Multiple scales are available for working to the left or right of the blade and with the table extension open or closed. The arm of the rib fence is made from a rectangular aluminum extrusion. That squared-off shape makes building and attaching shop-made jigs much easier. Pulling this lever up releases the extension table. You can pull that table out to go from 22.5 inches all the way up to 30.5 inches of width. There's a pair of Hex Head Bolts like this on the front and rear of the saw. These are for adjusting the blade to make sure that it's parallel to the miter slots. This is a very simple but very effective system. All of the controls are mounted on the front of the saw, and that includes the pull-up and push-off switch. The switch has a through hole that lets you lock it in the off position. This handwheel has a spinner knob to make blade height changes quick and easy. To change the bevel angle, lift the red locking arm, and then move the assembly to the bevel degree wanted. The easy-to-read scale and adjustable pointer make getting the right bevel angle easy. The tubular steel chassis is cleanly formed and has steel webbing where needed for strength. 4 rubber feet give this saw a good grip on a work surface, and you can stand it up on end without harming anything. The blade below the table is enclosed by the shroud that terminates in a port that fits shop vac hoses. Because the shroud is built right onto the blade trunnion, it follows the blade wherever it goes. All that's left is to hook up the dust collector hose and make some cuts. Throughout the evaluation, the Bosch portable worksite table saw worked very well. I never had to go back and redo any of the alignments or settings, and if I measured right, we got a perfect cut every time. This saw likes a feed rate that's a little bit slower than what I use on my 3-horsepower cabinet saw. Keep a sharp blade on this saw, and the differences in feed rates is a non-issue. And here's that sawn edge right off of the saw. It's nice and straight and remarkably clean for a free saw blade. If you need a compact portable table saw for your small workspace or your job sites, you need to take a hard look at the Bosch 10-inch portable worksite table saw.